at Scott Trade Center in St. Louis as tonight the St. Louis Blues take on the Nashville Predators. Earlier today, Martin Brodeur announcing his retirement, and the numbers speak for themselves. First in wins, first in shutouts, second in playoff wins, and of course, also 3 Stanley Cup championships. Speaking of Martin Brodeur, he is downstairs with my partner, Darren Pang.
John, thank you very much, and what a pleasure it has been, even if it's been short-lived as a member of the St. Louis Blues, to have you as part of the organization. And you made this decision. I know it can't be easy for you, but are you at peace with yourself that you're able to take some time and decide on your own when to leave the game?
Yeah, you know, I think it's been a different last few weeks, that's for sure. But I think I'm making the right decision. I'm really excited to venture in the new adventure that is the management part of the game, and I'm glad to get this opportunity.
Okay, Marty, since you were a little boy, you wore a mask. You put a mask on, you put pads on, you put your skates on. I mean, to think about it emotionally, to not put it on again in a competitive environment, how difficult that is.
It was all about the thought process, but at one point you got to figure that out. But I'll play for fun. I'll still wear that mask.
I've also got a puck right here, and 125 career shutouts. Right here is the St. Louis Blue. You got your 125th, buddy. That's something else.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, you know what? My time here was great. I really made hockey fun. Great organization, great bunch of guys, and great hockey team.
Go drop the puck, big boy.
All right, thank you.
Please welcome the winningest goaltender in National Hockey League history. Number 30, Martin Brodeur. Blues captain David Backes and Nashville captain Shea Weber, please come to center ice for tonight's ceremonial puck drop.
Classy move by the Predators to acknowledge the future Hall of Famer Martin Brodeur. What a welcome, Darren.
Wow, he just gave a big hug to his former teammate in New Jersey, too, Anton Volchenkov. How about Coach Peter Laviolette as well? Now, this is special. This is great stuff.
Thank you, Martin Brodeur.
You know, John Kelly, they always talk about goaltenders too, quirky on game days, just preparing so mentally tough and strict. And there's Brian Elliott, takes off his glove, makes sure he goes over to give his one-time teammate a nice little pat there as well. It's been wonderful having Marty part of the organization as a player, and now we get to see the management, the brain side of Martin Brodeur as part of the management team with Doug Armstrong.
Yeah, he stays on as a senior advisor to Doug Armstrong. Time to check tonight's top starting goaltenders. It is Brian Elliott. He leads the league in goals against, 4th in save percentage. Pekka Rinne, of course, is hurt. So Carter Hutton makes his 5th consecutive start since Rinne went down with a knee injury. Blues hockey is sponsored by Bud Light, who reminds fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. It is Backes, Oshie, and Steen against Philip Forsberg, Mike Ribeiro, and Craig Smith. And good to be back at Scott Trade. Blues dump it in.
Oh.
And a rather adventurous save there by Hutton on that long shot.
you know what he's thinking, that you know, if it goes wide, he probably hasn't seen whether or not the linesman put his arm up for an icing call, and he's waiting at the last second to see if it's going wide. And luckily, he gets that pad down there tight inside the post. Otherwise, that's in.
And now the Predators win the faceoff, but Steen hops on the puck back near the line for Oshie. And he backhands into the corner. And the captain, Shea Weber, up the boards. And now to center, thrown back in, delayed offside. The Predators did play a game since the All-Star game. They beat Colorado on Tuesday, 4-3 in overtime. So perhaps an early advantage since they have a game under their belt. And it's been 10 days since the Blues were involved in a game. Tarasenko trying to roll off the Smith check. Now supported there by Schwartz. And then back to the birthday boy, Shattenkirk. And the Predators break it up. Hammered right back in by Carl Gunnarsson. And again it is Weber to the corner to his partner, Roman Josi. And that's tipped along by James Neal. On with Wilson and Mike Fisher. And now the Blues back in their own zone. Schwartz can't clear it. And Jori Lehtera back to help out. On the wall. Schwartz again. And the Predators swarm to the corner. And now Lehtera emerges for the Blues. And then played on to Schwartz. And late on his shift, he dumps it in.
Well, you certainly want to establish quick ups here in a game like this. Nashville has already played a game which they led in the game, relinquished the lead, ended up winning it in overtime against Colorado. But certainly for the Blues right now, they're just trying to get their toes in the water a little bit. And right off the opening faceoff, you see the left defenseman there, Jay Bouwmeester, and he just tries to play that, but the stick was lifted of David Backes, and it just crawls in there on the right side and just between the toe and the side of the post. Otherwise, Bouwmeester's got his easiest goal of his career.
I would say. And off the faceoff, the Blues shoot it in. And number 64 is Victor Bartley. Now played on for Ekholm. That is tipped in deep by the rookie Järnkrok. And Cole back for the Blues, now to Yashkin. Yashkin, Stastny, and Berglund for the Blues. Predators come back in. And Gabriel Borka drive. That's up high. And off the glass. And then Seth Jones blows a tire. And the Blues away with it. 3-on-2 to the line is Berglund. Into Cole, a shot. And he put that one, I think, off the shoulder of Hutton. And now out of play.
Well, Seth Jones, the fine young defenseman, just blew a tire. And he's just inside the blue line here. He tries to go to his forehand and loses an edge right there. Stastny ties him up, and now you've got a 2-on-2 break coming down. Berglund crosses over there. He has a choice to drop that off behind him or play it to the far side, and this just glances off the bar on Carter Hutton. Hutton, of course, 0-2-1 in his career against the St. Louis Blues.
And the Blues win the face-off. To the top now to Shattenkirk. That shot hit a skate. And Karam's to the corner. Number 57 is the newcomer Marcel Gottsch. Wearing David Perron's old number. On with Ott and Reeves. And here's Gottsch with it for the Blues. And now Gosted for the Predators. And he flips it over the boards at the Predator bench.
Well, for Marcel Gottsch, he plays in his first game for the Blues, as you mentioned, but we've got our Toyota keys to the game right now, and you got to play on your toes early on. I nearly spilt it between the benches here, John Kelly. Look at Alexander Steen's telling me that. Oh, J.K. Steener's just giving it to me over here.
Yeah, I see him in your box there.
I nearly blew
giving you a hard time.
I nearly blow an ACL, and Steener doesn't get off my back.
No sympathy.
No help from Chase.
Now the Predators, here comes Jones, the 20-year-old. He walks in and forced wide by Gunnarsson. And now played on to Jokinen. And then Bartley tips it back of the goal. Comes around to Jones. He looks to move it in front. Instead to Ribeiro, shot. And that's wide on the short side. And off the active boards here, it's Scott traded back to center ice. And now Bartley for Ribeiro.
Well, right away, that play tells Elliott to be aware on short side plays. I mean, you can see there Ribeiro just waiting for him to collapse down low on the short side on that reverse VH, and he tries to beat him up there over the shoulder.
And now it is Oshie for the Blues. Too far for Backus. And Ekholm retreating back on the Nashville goal. Blues have had the only 2 shots so far tonight. Ekholm to Ribeiro. Ribeiro coming off a 3-assist game in that 4-3 victory on Tuesday. This is scooped up by Elliott. And we got a whistle.
Yeah, nice little play there by Brian Elliott. In the meantime, Marcel Gottsch really good on the face-off dot. A real quiet, kind of smart containment player. And that's what he brings to the table here for the St. Louis Blues. Good face-off win there, leads to a good shot. Nearly sneaks in there with the rebound going over to Ryan Reeves. And you can see 54% on the dots as Max Lapierre heads over to the Pittsburgh Penguins.
He is the first German-born player for the Blues since Jochen Hecht, who played for the Blues from 98 to 01. And he played with Jochen Hecht during the last lockout in Germany. Now Mike Fisher for Josi. Josi a drive, blocked by Jackman.
Marty Brodeur had to announce his retirement for 8 hours, and he trains a fellow French guy and brings in a German guy to the Blues.
Now the Blues into the zone with speed. Laterra in on goal, a shot, and he put that one high and wide. And then Laterra goes tumbling down. It's under him. Josi trying to pry it free. Schwartz is there, and he gets him back to the Blues. And then Jackman's pass comes to center ice. Here's Wilson, now moved along by Fisher. Another drop pass. James Neal a shot, and that's wide of the Blues goal. And then Fisher back in the cage. He works it back to Bartley. Bartley a shot, well wide. And Jones can't hold it in on the far side.
Yeah, Jones came by.
Obviously some technical issues with Darren's mic there. We'll try and get those resolved as the Predators come in here. Ribeiro. It bounces in front and cleaned up by Bouwmeester. And he goes on the offense. And Bouwmeester out. Soft shot well wide. And now played by Berglund. And it goes by Yashkin on the right point and all the way down the ice. And Elliott hooks one to the corner for Bouwmeester. Off a skate. And held in by the Predators, Volchenkov. Now to center, it's Stastny. Back to Bouwmeester. The last time these clubs met in late December in Nashville, the Predators won 3-2. And the Blues allowed a season-high 47 shots in that game. And of course, the Blues don't do that too often. Now Ryan Reeves on the wall. Puck kept in by Järnkrok. He drops it off. Volchenkov the drive, and a save by Elliott.
I don't know how he saw that short side. Just got his left elbow on it.
And now Gottsch to center ice. He gets it in deep for Ryan Reeves. And the Winnipeg native around for Ott. Shipped in front. Echo with it, trying to clear it. That's kept in by Cole. In front. And Gottsch tips it wide. Now a couple of 57s go after it. Gottsch and Bourque. And Ekholm there for Nashville. He is hounded by Ott. And Gottsch is trying to pitchfork it free from the maze of legs in the corner. Now Ian Cole pinches in and holds it in there.
Now you can see that Ken Hitchcock wants to get Gottsch out there as much as possible early on in this game. Rolled the 4 lines, but he only came in here this morning just getting to know the players, getting to know the system, getting to know the video. Big change from Marcel Gottsch. In the meantime, Jori Laterra cuts in there on his forehand, uses Josi as a screen, and just rifles this one again. Just barely missing the bar on the stick side.
It may have just nibbled the bar.
You know what? It didn't look that way. And the Blues continue to try to go high on Carter Hutton.
Nashville has won 3 of 4 this year against the Blues. Every game has been decided by 1 goal.
They've been great games, haven't they? Great series so far.
As Josi throws one to the corner. And Shattenkirk can't clear it, comes in front. Now Josi at the line. Broken up in the Blues. 3-on-1 the other way. Into Shattenkirk. Right in on goal. Rebound. And Steen is stopped by Hutton on a 3-on-1. Now back. Tarasenko a drive, and Hutton made that save. And the Predators clear away.
Oh, good pressure there by Bouwmeester coming off the bench. It looked like he might have bailed out there to make it a 2-on-1, but he went right towards Nystrom and picked it off.
Oh, what a chance there. And now Volchenkov, the former Devil, down his off wing. Laterra gets back with a great back check. And now on for Pietrangelo. On to Tarasenko. Broken up at center by the rookie Forsberg. He comes back in. And his drive on goal. And a save by Elliott. Forsberg has killed the Blues this year with 7 points in 4 games.
Yeah, credit Mike Ribeiro there for coming down in a straight line through the neutral zone. It was his stick that picked off the first one, and then Forsberg got it off of his stick.
Darren, early on, the Blues were worried about the pace. Not that they can't skate with the Predators, but of course they haven't played a game in 10 days. But so far, they've fared very well in this first period.
Yeah, really good pace to this hockey game. And here's basically a 3-on-1 break, and Shattenkirk's looking for another option, but Gosted's cutting him off. So he fires it high here, and then look at the rebound there by Steen. He tries to kind of feather it against the grain to the stick side, and that's a good save there by Hutton.
And the Blues win another face-off. Here's Patrick Berglund. Back for Jackman. A shot and a pad save by Hutton through a screen. And then scooped out by Forsberg. And then Jackman whistles one ahead to Berglund. That goes down the ice. Hutton plays it. And then for Seth Jones, their first-round pick last year. And Jones picks his way to center ice down to Bartley. And his shot blockered away by Elliott. And then Cole was run down to the corner. But the Blues get the puck. Yashkin trying to clear it. Held in by Wilson. And then Jackman again. In front. Look out. Stastny got back to break it up. And now Colin Wilson has it for the Predators. Back of the goal. James Neal finds it for the Preds. Out high now for Jones. Long shot blocked in front and chipped to center ice by Jackman.
That pressure all started with a good play by Victor Bartley, number 64 for the Predators, knocking Cole off the puck right to the right side of Elliott.
Not dressed tonight for the Blues, Joakim Lindstrom. And of course, Chris Butler is a healthy stretch. Now Gunnarsson at the line of drive. He put that one wide. Shattenkirk in. Pass right to the goal crease. And Gunnarsson did score in the Blues last game. Last Monday against Colorado. And now Jones. Pressured by Backes. Shattenkirk pinches in. Steen to the corner. Oshie trying to center it. And that's broken up by Josi. Good job there by the Swiss-born defenseman. And now Fisher rolls it around the boards. Here's Bouwmeester. He barges into the corner, runs Bork down. And it goes back in the cage again for Josi. This has been a heck of a pace in the first 10:40.
Lots quicker pace here than on the beach.
Well, Paul Gosted. Fourth line center for the Predators. Blues break it up. Pietrangelo. Now on to Gotch. He leaves it for Ott. Back to Gotch. Tight angle. And then Reeves comes in to support. On the cycle. Gosted getting back for the Predators. Now for Ekholm. And then the captain, Weber. He is shouldered by Reeves.
That shows you some of that hockey calmness that Marcel Gotch possesses as he enters the offensive zone. Real smart play.
Now Gosted to center ice. Here's the veteran Jokinen. A long shot and a flutterer is caught by Elliott. And then Jackman knocks Jokinen into the end board.
Yeah, after Jokinen let go of that shot, Jokinen trying to use him at the screen and went off to the right and got a little shove there from Jackman.
And everybody is involved behind the Blues goal.
Including big Ryan Reeves, who's off to the right. Nystrom's got no lid, and he pulls down Ian Cole. Ian Cole's got to engage. Here they go.
And Cole lands a couple of rights. And some more rights by Cole.
Well, Cole's a big, strong guy, and he got tugged first by Nystrom. That's University of Michigan against Notre Dame right there.
Well, he landed a couple of rights, maybe catching Nystrom off guard there. as the tempers flare in this Central Division battle. On a night that the Blues honor Martin Brodeur.
Well, Ian Cole gets the best of Nystrom. Nystrom initiated, wanted contact in this scrum, but we can see on the left side of the screen right here, after the save was made by the goaltender, Elliott, little shove there by Jokinen, and then Jokinen obviously doesn't like that. He comes in. Ryan Reeves is on one side, but it was at the other side that the door was open. Nystrom opens up door number 28 and took a couple of hops right there, much to the delight of this sold-out crowd here at Scottrade. Starts off with the legendary Marty Brodeur dropping the puck. Nashville Predators players shaking hands. It was all nice to begin this game, JK.
Well, get ready to party with the Blues every home game in February. It's Mardi Gras month, and the Blues are bringing you live bands pregame and postgame in Anheuser-Busch Beer Garden, Mardi Gras themed food menus, and much more. Tickets start at $29. Go to stlouisblues.com/Mardi Gras and buy your tickets today. Why not party all month, Darren? Well, it looks like the Predators are going to get a power play here. So an extra minor on the board behind the number of Barrett Jackman. And the Predators win the faceoff. Weber.
The initial play by Jackman is the one that they got there.
Number 24, Eric Nystrom.
That would be my guess. Now Weber, one of the hardest shot at the All-Star game, breaks his stick. And now the rookie Forsberg. And he was checked there by the Blues, Steen. And he fires one to center ice, now picked up by Backus. And he dumps it in.
James Neal came across, and boy, that was a dangerous play. Nearly picked the upper body there of Backus.
Nashville 1 of 12 on the power play in 4 games against the Blues. Now Forsberg to Josi. Settles it, pass in front. Now taken by Forsberg, back to Weber. To a wide open Josi. And a shot blocked by Backus out high. And they feed Josi again. Now Weber for Forsberg. Around it goes, and a drive by Weber up high. And Elliott made the save, had no idea where it went. And now Josi keeps it in.
Happens to a lot of goalies when Weber shoots the puck. Oh, Backus broke his stick. He's got no twig.
And now Weber again. Here's Josi. Winds and fires it up high. Rebound. They score. Either off Fisher or off a Blues player, and it's 1-0.
A high original shot. Banks in behind Elliott. Squirms its way back in. And Fisher's been red hot. 5 goals in his last 10 games heading into this one. Now 6-11. There's a shot by Josi up high, and it comes in. Boy, that is some bounce, isn't it? There's a better look at it here, JK. Deflected by Fisher originally. Up high, comes down, and in the net. Well, they're taking a look at this because the buzzer just went.
Play is being reviewed.
When it got deflected, after Josi fired it, here's the deflection. Now it goes up high. Does it hit the netting or the glass? It looks like it hits the top part of the glass. They're checking to make sure it doesn't hit the netting, obviously. But there's the big carom off the glass, off the back, and into the net.
Yeah,
so the first redirection by Fisher, John Kelly, wasn't over the crossbar, so it wouldn't have been a high stick. So clearly checking to see if it's hit the netting and not the glass. But the way it came out, lower than the netting, and right at the top part of the glass.
Yeah, they could be looking at both.
Yeah.
Yeah, the stick was up high, but it certainly appeared to be below the crossbar.
Yeah. Josi's shot gets away from him, and that's not going to be a high stick there. So then it goes off the glass, and it's below the netting there. So I'm sure they're going to deem this a good goal by Nashville. Just an unlucky bounce. Boy, we've seen some funny bounce in this barn off the glass and the partitions.
After review, the ruling on the ice stands. It is a good goal.
So the power play goal at 12:49. As you said, Fisher is red hot. Now with 10 goals on the year.
And a lot of times what makes it a little confusing is because the netting comes down about 1.5 feet below the glass. Obviously, sometimes it looks...
And Elliott bounces one up the wing. Tipped away by Yashkin. Too far for Berglund. And Hutton had to play that one. And now it's picked up by the rookie Jarnkrok for Bartley. And he fakes a shot, dumps it around the boards. Kicked by Bourque. Now centered in a deep slot. Jarnkrok to Bartley. Top of the circle, a shot and a save there by Elliott. And then Cullen rolls off a check down low. Back to Jones, a shot, got through. And a save by Elliott again. The Predators, they'll shoot from anywhere, this team. They funnel all the pucks to the net.
Now they generate their forecheck that way. They're very disciplined.
Now Jones again, a shot. That hit his own man in front. And now taken by the Blues and Berglund.
And funneling the puck to the net is not a new concept, but it's something that Peter Laviolette and his coaching staff has believed in, going back to certainly his Carolina days, in Philadelphia, and now in Nashville.
Drop pass to Wilson, a shot. And a glove save there by Elliott. So the goal by Fisher from Josi and Weber, a power play goal. And the Predators, thanks to a lucky bounce, with a 1-0 lead.
You know, at one point I just felt in the way a little bit. You know, like I was making fun of these, you know, I was just making fun of, to me actually. They were saying it was almost dangerous for me in practice. I did not run over by the line rushes. I was just in the way as a third goalie, so.
And there is Marty Brodeur to the left, Doug Armstrong, and Hall of Famer Al MacInnis. Nice to see Al and Bernie and Brett Hull up there on the stage today.
A lot of talent on the podium earlier today.
Yeah, Marty Brodeur sat in with us in the coaches meeting before the game, and he's jumping right in. Got to be a very exciting time for Marty Brodeur after his illustrious career.
By the way, on that goal, Mike Fisher, career point number 500 in his career. Steen in front, Oshie wide open, backhander, and a save again by Hutton. Now Steen back of the goal.
Then a reverse hit on Weber. And are they battling in front of the net?
Now Steen deals it back. Pietrangelo, a shot. Penalty called here on the Predators. And a cross-check.
This all... And being very aggressive on Weber.
6, minor penalty for cross-checking.
It's time for Hamburg, Missouri.
So the Blues with a power play. And they have the top-rated power play in the league, 25.5%. Predators not very good in the kill, 78.6%. That is ranked 24th. Blues win the faceoff. Shattenkirk to Tarasenko. Shattenkirk again, a shot and a glove save by Hutton. And no further play.
That's a very quick passing right there because the Nashville Predators were taking away the top umbrella very, very quickly. Sharp passing. That shot was going wide, but still, if there's any kind of rebound or screen in front, you get something juicy.
And the Blues off the face-off. It pops to the line. And Bourque away for Nashville. Now for Ekholm. He comes in a drive. And that's high. Hits the glass. The Blues numbers the other way. In for Laterra with Schwartz. Now Laterra to Schwartz. And somebody tipped that wide, maybe Jones. And now kept in by the Blues. Here's Steen to Schwartz. And a pass. Hit a skate. Recovered by the Blues. Steen again. Lets it fly. And that's off a body in front wide. And the Blues get it down low. 45 gone on the power play. Shattenkirk, the shot. And that's wide of the goal. And now Laterra on the boards. Schwartz in front. Broken up by Bourque. And then hammered off the boards by Gostad and down the ice.
Well, some great chances there. In fact, one of them, Schwartz had a chance to maybe one-time that on the far side and chose to make a play through the middle, but some good crisp passing.
And the Predators at center ice. Josi hammers it in. Blues 1 for 10 in 4 games against Nashville. Walked along by Pietrangelo. To Bouwmeester. And his shot, and a pad save by Hutton. Now Pietrangelo for Backes. He gets free. Back to Bouwmeester. On the wing now for Oshie. Tipped in front, what a play! Backes wide open, and a save by Hutton! And we get a whistle.
Great save by Carter Hutton. He had to follow that long reach over to his glove side, stretches out, makes a terrific save. Everything was well executed by the power play unit, led by David Backes. Good crisp play again by Bouwmeester to the far side. That really spreads out the PK unit. Backes then went to his forehand. At the very end, Volchenkov looked like he got a stick up high, and he dives into his goaltender. But here's the save there. Volchenkov certainly helps matters, and the puck lies to the left of Carter Hutton, and he jumps on it.
Boy, Hutton has been exceptional in this first period. 18 to go in the power play. And they're going to toss Gostad, their best face-off man, so Bork will take it against Backes. And Backes wins it, back for Shattenkirk. Played on to Steen, great pass, Pietrangelo, and he can't center one. And now Oshie down low, leaves it. Backes wins the battle against Josi. And then Shattenkirk down low, he was checked there by Gostad. And the Predators are now back at full strength. The Blues have 3 shots on goal. And Weber is back. Fisher has scored the only goal. It's 1-0 for the Predators.
Well, John Kelly, there's an edge to do. He's been physical, finishing his checks. As we take a look now at our BJC Healthcare Difference Maker, Pekka Rinne is not in goal. We can see since 08-09 with Pekka Rinne, a remarkable record, only 2 games above 500 without Pekka Rinne. 29 wins so far this year, halfway through for Rinne.
And the Blues cleared off the boards and down the ice. Under 3 to play, first period. Ekholm a feed to Volchenkov. He was hit there by Reeves. Lob to center. Now Jackman steps across and chops it right over the boards near the Blues bench. 1-0 Predators late first period.
Well, you're looking at the proud fathers of the National Hockey League players of the St. Louis Blues. It is their first ever Father's Trip. And before the game, President and General Manager Doug Armstrong went to the fathers and presented them with their own game sweaters. There's Marty Brodeur in the background, Tom Stillman. It takes a big commitment to make these things happen, and boy, the players and the dads, they sure do appreciate it. In fact, I flew in from Toronto today, and on my flight, Jake Allen's dad and also Jaden Schwartz's dad.
And they will hop on the charter tonight with the Blues. Steen gets the loose puck, and what a save again by Hutton.
It's great. Steen, hustle.
What a chance for Steen. He has points in 10 straight. Now to Backes.
Oh, Steen took that one up high, and I think Shea Weber's going to go off.
Another penalty.
Yeah, roughing call is going to be. Steen with a real good shift. I think St. Lucie treated him well on a little bit of a break.
That's number 6, minor penalty for roughing.
Back-to-back minor penalties for the captain. Here's the first chance here. Steiner just hunts down Josi and gets a really good chance right there. And then right after that, you can see Steen comes in. Look at that forearm shiver. Right to the beak and the chin.
The Blues 0 for 1 tonight. And off the face-off, Ekholm gets it and slides it down the ice. Again, it is Steen and Shattenkirk on the points. Up front, Schwartz, Tarasenko, and Laterra. The Blues 9 power play goals in their last 8 games. Tarasenko gains the line. Tracked down by Ekholm. Now Schwartz back to the cage. Swatted ahead, and Shattenkirk can't hold it in.
Yeah, it just skipped. You're at a good angle of it here on my side at the last second. Just skipped on him.
Now Shattenkirk in for Laterra. Trying to work down the wall. Glove down and held in by Shattenkirk. And then Jones gets it off a body back toward the goal. And then played to Ekholm, and he drives it off the boards and down into the blue zone.
You know, that's just good hockey sense by the goalie, Carter Hutton, right there. I mean, you know, he gloves it. It's a face-off in his own zone. Instead, he just plays that quickly and discreetly so his defenseman's able to get it down the zone. Now that is going to be an icing call. It was just a lame pass, basically, that had no pace to it. A little bit of a fanned-on pass. Ends up going all the way down for an icing call.
The Predators have not been very good in the kill. They've allowed 6 power play goals in their last 4 games.
One guy that's continuing his play, though, is Steen. His last 10 games, 7 goals and 18 points. Had a good start to this one.
Now a pass by Steen blocked. And scooped back in by Volchenkov. With a minute to go in the first period. Here's a pass on to Bouwmeester. Right up the middle. To himself. And then rolls off the check to Backes. Backes in front. Pass across. Now Pietrangelo gets it for the Blues. Stastny a feed in front to Oshie. And he can't get a shot free. And the Predators shoot it down the ice. And a dozen seconds left in Weber's minor. Late here in the period. Pietrangelo into the zone. And Marcel Goc comes in. Here's Ott, back to Pietrangelo. And his shot hit a body. Predators are back at full strength. No shots on that power play. From the wing, a shot by Goc, handled by Hutton. And that should just about do it. As time runs out in the opening period. The only goal, a power play goal by that man, Mike Fisher.
And Reeves having some word there with Nystrom as they exit the ice. Same with Ott, circling around there. Bodes well for the next 40 minutes. Entertaining opening 20 here at Scottrade.
We have played one period here in St. Louis, and the Predators on a power play goal from Mike Fisher lead the Blues 1-0. We are joined in the broadcast booth by the President of Hockey Operations and General Manager Doug Armstrong. Thank you for joining us tonight, Army.
Well, thanks for having me on.
It's been what I would call an emotional day for everybody. Martin Brodeur retiring, but at the same time, the great news, he's sticking around with the Blues.
Yeah, it's obviously great to celebrate a fabulous career, a Hall of Fame career for sure, but it's also better for my part of the organization to have him stay on with us, and we're going to really gain a lot from his experience as we enter in the tough part of the season into the playoffs.
Army, obviously, a couple of weeks ago, he took a leave of absence with the hockey club to try to contemplate his future. At that time, did you just sort of let him be and let him make the decision himself?
Yeah, I told him that my phone was always open for a call, but for him to take as much time as he needed, certainly he's earned that over a 22-year career, but more importantly, I know that such a great competitor he was, he wanted to make sure he was doing the right thing.
It looks like we have a penalty early on here against the Blues. Army, when you signed Marty about 6 weeks ago, as the Blues, Backes goes off, when Elliott went down, did you think at any time it might come to this, that he does retire and he joins your staff?
No, I didn't think, we weren't thinking of having him be part of our staff when we brought him in here. We were living in the moment, what you do in professional sports. We needed to make sure we gained as many points as we could with Brian out, and having him come into our organization and get 3 wins was real helpful. You see, we're trailing right now by 5 points, so every point matters so much in a regular season.
Nashville 1 for 1 on the power play here tonight. As Ott gets it and he fires it down the ice. Army, what's the thing that's impressed you most about Marty now that you're around him on a day-to-day basis for the last 6 weeks or so?
Well, it's just how an everyday man he is. He really fits in well with certainly the players, obviously, but the coaches, the management, everyone in the organization feels very comfortable with him. And having a chance to work with 2 people that I think are very much like that in Al McGinnis and Steve Yzerman. It's such a great quality to have guys that have such a stature but such a common approach to the game and people around them. And he's just going to be such an asset to our whole organization for everything he can bring us.
And Army, it speaks volumes to the relationship that you and other general managers have with general managers. I know that you've spoken to Lou Lamoriello, so as that goes on, you wanted to make sure, I would imagine, that this is a comfortable situation for everybody?
Yeah, I talked to Lou before we signed Marty, more or less at that point, just tell him what we're going to do. And then Lou and I have had a great relationship. He's been outstanding to me as I entered the league and all my years as a manager. So out of respect to Lou, but more importantly out of respect to Marty and what he's done for the Devils organization, we wanted to make sure that everybody was on the same page. And Lou was nothing but gracious with our decision to bring him here to play, and also understood what we were looking for when I talked to him about it in a management position, and thought this was a great opportunity for him.
You also made a deal in that time. And, oh, hang on. Oh, what a save that is by Elliott. Holy jumping. He just reached across and got his glove on that. Well, you made a deal with Marcel Gottsch, and he's had a good start to this game. 3-0 on the face-off, Dot. And he'll get a chance here on the second PK unit alongside Steve Ott. What do you like about Marcel Gottsch?
Well, he's a very smart player, and I think he really complements Ott and Reeves well in the sense that he's going to allow these guys to get on the hunt and really get on the forecheck. A really conscientious center, and I think it's a really good deal for Pittsburgh and a really good deal for us in the sense that Pittsburgh was looking for a more sort of aggressive player that could get in on the forecheck, and we were looking for more of a, I don't want to say a passive player, but a player that would allow his two wingers to do that work. So things worked out really good there.
And now Jackman takes a stick up high, and another penalty has been called here. This one is against the Predator. I think Smith got the stick up.
Hanger, that's the bad part about managing. When you see him go down, you know he's okay. You're just saying, just breathe just a little bit.
Minor penalty, high sticking.
I'll let Jackman know that as he goes off towards my right. But you can see the stick blade's going to come up right there. And Smith thinks he's got it underneath the arm. Smith thinks he's lifting up the stick, but there is no stick there. And that clearly caught Barrett Jackman right up in the chicklets.
So we go 4-on-4 for 16 seconds. Again, Blues President of Hockey Ops and GM Doug Armstrong is in our booth here. Doug, we were talking to Ken Hitchcock before the game, and Marty Brodeur joined our meeting before the game, and talking about what's important for the Blues down the stretch, with 35 games or so to go. And they both felt that the Blues, to be a championship team, have to learn how to play their own game, a simple game, and win on the road in tough buildings. Do you agree with that? Is that one of the keys for your club down the stretch?
Well, certainly, I think that the top teams in the league respect their opponents and obviously want to understand the nuances of their game, but the best teams make the other teams adjust to them, and that's what we want to try and do here as we enter the playoffs. And obviously, to win in this league, at the most important, you have to win road games, and we haven't had any success at that the last couple of years, and we're going to have to do that. But I'd still like my chances starting with as much home ice as available, but good teams win anywhere, and that's on the road also, obviously.
That's one thing I learned from Marty, even on the golf course, Army, is he knows how to manage the game, and I know he learned a lot, like just by the way that they won games with Jacques Lemaire, with Pat Burns, with the coaches that he had there in New Jersey. That's got to be an instrumental part of the influence part as well, huh?
Well, it certainly is, and you got to know how to not beat yourself a lot of nights, Panger,
right.
and he certainly does that, and I think that's where he's going to be very good with our group of telling us, not to get too concerned about certain things. There's times in the game and there's times in the season where things are going to happen. You just have to roll with that, and you have all that experience of Brett Hall and Bernie Federko and Al McGinnis and now Marty in there. When they come in and talk to the players in the room, they really carry a big stick and they don't have to say too much. And our players really enjoy talking to these guys because of their experiences.
Oh, he sure is an easy guy to talk to. Boy, good positive outlook on life, good even-keeledness about him.
Yeah, he's not one of those quacky goalies, Panger.
Army, he's as normal as it gets.
Hey, Army, we had some video of you presenting all the dads their jerseys earlier tonight. That's going to be a big thrill for that group.
Yeah, we're really excited. It's our first Father's trip as an organization. The dads came in today, and they're going to spend the next 2 games with us. They'll come on the road tonight. Ken's going to include them in our meetings and our pregame meals, and it's going to be really exciting. And these fathers have spent a lot of time in a lot less nice buildings than NHL buildings, taking their sons to games, getting up early, taking them to practice, and it's just great that Mr. Stillman and the ownership group is going to allow us to thank them properly by bringing them on the road with us.
Fabulous gesture.
And now the Predators are back at full strength as Smith is out of the box. The Blues had 2 shots and are now 0 for 3 on the power play. 1-0 for the Predators here in the second period. Well, Panger, is Army good for a goal here? And a shot by Pietrangelo is fought off by Hutton. He's usually good for at least one, Panger.
Well, he's staying up there for a lot longer than what he's been up there.
I'm going to wait till this first TV timeout. I think we got good things happening here.
It's been a good game. Good series against Nashville.
Yeah, they're a really good team this year. Obviously, Pecorini's not playing tonight, but the additions that David Poyle made this year of bringing in players like Mike Ribeiro and James Neal has really helped their franchise. And I look at their defense. I think they have one of the best, and if not probably the most underrated defense in the NHL. And this isn't a mirage what they've done halfway through the season. Peter's done a great job of getting them ready, and they're going to be a team to contend with throughout the season and into the playoffs.
Similar to the Blues in that the defenseman, that one just wide by Neal, but the defenseman other than Volchenkov drafted and developed by the Nashville Predators.
Yeah, David's staff has done a great job over the years of drafting well and developing their players, and I think Dean Evison in Milwaukee does a great job of preparing these guys for when they come up.
As Yashkin rolls the puck in deep. And the Predators the other way. And that is an offside. And again, some extracurricular activity after the whistle.
Offside play, but Barrett Jackman kind of gave Colin Wilson a bit of a shove right there, and that gets things all stirred up. Jackman involved in this game, and you'd expect not a whole lot of real estate going on in this game, and you've got to make sure you're ready to defend and protect. And a lot of stuff going on after the whistles here. These two teams, quite frankly, Army, don't like each other now. I can picture a 7-game playoff series between the two.
Yeah, well, a lot of these plays you're seeing after the whistle are not just for tonight, but they're statements by both organizations, both players, or both sets of players moving forward that I think we see them in our future, and they might see us in their future as we move forward. And you know, like it is with Chicago now, you might as well start marking your turf as early as you can. I know they're trying to do that also.
Here comes Smith, who scored the overtime winner the other night against Colorado. To Volchenkov in the slot, and a drive, save, rebound, and Forsberg, the rookie, makes it 2-0.
Elliott got the first one with his right pad, but he was really reaching out there. The entire pad could not get sealed along the ice. Just hard to do that as he was stretching out from his left to his right. And Philip Forsberg, oh my goodness, what a story this young man has been. At number 9 on the right, gets in there towards the blue paint, then he gets out of it, and then he's waiting for Ribeiro to set up shop, which he does to Smith, and then Forsberg's right there on the doorstep. Smith fans on it, here's the right toe. Oh, you see, Elliott didn't even get his right toe on that. It hit the skate of Forsberg first, stops it entirely, and it's sitting there on a tee for Forsberg.
Now that kid has killed the Blues. Now with 4 goals and 8 points in 5 games against St. Louis. And it's 2-0 for the Predators. Here's Gunnarsson, and he'll feed it back to Shattenkirk.
Assisted by number 15, Brent Smith. And by number 16.
And then Gunnarsson again. And that is broken up. Predators steal it.
Assisted by Smith and Ribeiro.
And a race for it back of the goal. So the goal by Forsberg from Smith and Ribeiro at 5:36. And the puck to center ice. Now into Reeves. And he drops it off to Gotch. And he centers. That is broken up by the Predators. Here's Jones the other way. And the play goes offside. Doug Armstrong, thank you so much for joining us in the booth. And we look forward to the last 35 games or so.
Well, thanks for having me on. I'll have to leave it up to you guys to get us some goals tonight.
All right.
Well, Philip Forsberg has started this season on fire, and even though he came into this game with only 2 goals in his last 10, he bangs home another one here tonight to make it 2-0. So in the 5 games played, he's now got 4 goals and 4 helpers, 8 points in the series against the Blues. He's been a thorn, and not just a perimeter offensive-minded player. John, I've been impressed with the fact that he gets himself involved.
He had a goal in the All-Star game, the first ever Predator to score a goal in an All-Star game. He's a fantastic young player. Yashkin and Stastny back of the goal. And now Berglund comes in to support. Berglund gets it free back for Jackman. And then Stastny to Yashkin. Roughed up by Gaustad. And now Yashkin away. Reverses for Stastny. And he fights through a check. Stastny in front. Puck loose. And knocked up the boards. Kept in by Cole. And down low again. Gaustad with it. And he angles it. And it rolls on edge. So that won't go all the way for icing.
It's been tough for the Blues to get any kind of sustained pressure here on Carter Hutton here. The Nashville Predators are doing a really good job defending.
And now the puck to center ice. Ribeiro checked there by Steen. Into open ice for Craig Smith. Now Smith in front. And Ribeiro again. He was signed as a free agent. Ribeiro with it. Waits. To Forsberg. Wide open. A shot. And that's blocked by Oshie.
That's a lot of time and space there for Forsberg. And that's what Mike Ribeiro does best. He just lures everybody towards him and waits for the opening in the quiet areas of the ice. Ribeiro is an exceptionally patient puck handler. And Forsberg and Ribeiro just having a whole lot of fun together. Got to take away the time, certainly in the space, as you see the way that Forsberg works it as you stop it. Here's Forsberg right here in this spot here. Just waiting. And now by this time, the only guy defending is TJ Oshie, who goes on his one knee and is in a pretty tough spot right there to do anything.
And Oshie did a great job of playing street hockey goalie. Yes, Fisher comes in.
We learned that maneuver from Marty. Drag the right leg.
Now Gunnarsson to center. Here's Tarasenko. He's in the clear. In on goal. Rebound. They score! Jaden Schwartz.
Vladdy uses a lot of speed here, and he never stops moving. Jaden Schwartz is the recipient, and he bangs home his 17th goal, but Vladdy Tarasenko deserves all the credit in the world on the left side of your screen. Getting it by Ekholm, the defenseman, going to his forehand. Hutton makes a good save with the right pad here. And then the rebound's there, and it eludes both guys, Volchenkov and Ekholm, and Jaden Schwartz sniffs it out.
And he is coming off a 2-point game against Colorado 10 days ago. Now with 14 points in his last 12 games. And he gets the Blues right back in the game. It's 2-1. Now Bork stole it from Jackman. Here's Bork in, a shot in the glove. Saved by Elliott on the short side.
Close to being a high-sticking situation inside the zone. The Nashville Predators do a good job of knocking it down. And then they create a little 2-on-1. Nice save by Brian Elliott. And you can see the play out here. There's the hand-eye coordination. And Brian Murphy, number 93, the linesman, calls it not a high stick, and the play goes the other way.
The Blues goal, Schwartz from Tarasenko and Gunnarsson at 8:22. Number 17 for Jaden Schwartz. Predators win a face-off back to Jones. And he walks the line, a shot blocked by Cole. And the Blues to center ice now for Berglund, off the boards and in. Pushes Bartley down. But then Victor Bartley recovers. Comes in front, Yashkin, a shot. And that's fought off by Hutton.
He did a good job after getting knocked down. He still is able to get that shot off.
And now lob back of the goal by Yashkin. And then Bartley reverses. And here's Jones to pass. Oh, hit the stick of Stastny.
Yeah, Stastny was going one way and then spun his stick around on the backhand and intercepted it.
And a good step up there by Jackman. Predators give it up. Now they get it back. And the 20-year-old Seth Jones. Watched by Steen. And snapped in from center. That bounces over the stick of Jackman. Now played to Gostad back of the goal. And then poked along to Backus at the line. Yossi. Fans on a shot. Now it's Yossi again. Lets it go, and that's wide through a screen. And it got by Weber on the right point. And Weber back to get it. Chased by Oshie. And the puck tipped to center by the Predators' Nystrom. And then Bomeister there for the Blues to break it up, but not clear. And Jokinen down low. On the cycle for Gostad. And he is shot down by Pietrangelo. Predators lose it though, and here come the Blues the other way. With Oshie in the slot to Bomeister right up the middle. And they can't get a shot on goal.
Yeah, minor penalty coming up to Nashville. Elliott's out of the net.
And the Blues will get a power play after the goal by Schwartz to cut the lead to 2-1.
You got a chance now to tie the game up on the power play. What are some of the keys you're looking for?
Oh, we got to shoot the puck more. We got point shots. We're trying to make the next play. Trying to look for the perfect play. We got traffic at the net. Let's make them pay. If we get it back to point, just put it on the net. We'll ping pong it from there.
Thanks.
And the Blues go to the power play for the 4th time. Nystrom gone for slashing. Fisher and Forsberg for the Predators. Schwartz for the Blues. Laterra on the face-off against Fisher. Fisher wins it. And Roman Yossi slides it around the boards and down the ice.
I think Hitch needed to add pang to that. Ping-pong panging.
Ping-pong panging in the net. Shattenkirk to center ice. Tarasenko up the middle, and he's stripped of the puck by Yarncroke. And he drills it down the ice.
Not a lot of space for that entry. And the Nashville Predators are doing a good job of clogging up that blue line.
Now Steen, far side, Shattenkirk. Tarasenko tips it on to Schwartz. Sets it up on the half boards. Shattenkirk and across to Steen. And he works in all the way around. Then collected by Tarasenko. Here's Laterra. Predator player has lost his stick here. Shattenkirk. Now for Tarasenko. That was Gostad. He gets it again. Schwartz a shot. And a pad save by Hutton. And Bourque with the rebound trying to clear it. He can't by Steen. Steen a slap pass. Oh, in front. Tarasenko's shot was blocked and cleared down the ice.
That was one wicked pass, wasn't it? Tarasenko did a good job of handling that fake shot pass there by Steen. And boy, did Laterra take a pretty good whack on the stick there by Gabriel Bourque.
Now 40 left in the power play. To the corner, Pietrangelo. He funnels it back to Oshie. Oshie works in, a drive, and that was tipped wide of the goal. And now Jay Bomeister. Backus to Oshie. Wines, fakes it. Oshie gets it again. A shot, right on goal, and a save. Big rebound in the slot.
Oh!
And Backus overskates it.
Yeah, he overskated, then wait for Pietrangelo. Pietrangelo was waiting for Backus to go to it. And the only guy that got it was a Predator player.
And 5 to go in the power play. Now Stastny in for Oshie. Cuts to the middle. And does a pirouette out high. Now Stastny with a shot rebound. They score! TJ Oshie! And it's tied at 2.
Well, this is a quick world-class reaction by TJ Oshie. On the stick for a split second, and he rifles it along the ice on the glove side on Carter Hutton for his 14th. Oshie makes it go to begin with by moving that puck over to Backus. Backus to Stastny. Stastny, it ends up getting right back over there to Oshie. Oshie's humming right there. He had his Oshie today. Or Mazda drive to the net. It's a beauty. Why wouldn't it be? TJ Oshie with the game-tying goal.
Number 14 and third in his last three, and we are tied at 2.
Well, Oshie's such a good give-and-go player. And every pass that he makes, it's a nice little heel-to-toe saucer. Petrangelo's there on the doorstep. This one goes off the post and in the net, just beyond the left skate toe of the goaltender, Hutton.
Stastny and Backes get the assist for David Backes. He extends his point streak to 8 games. And we have got a brand new game. Now in front, Shattenkirk. On to Berglund. Flies through center to Shattenkirk. In a goal! Rebound! On! He scores! Unbelievable!
Now this place is going nuts. 3 straight goals for the Blues. First one looked like it glanced off the pipe and came right back. In numbers, the Blues enter the zone. Shattenkirk shot from the right side, springs loose, and then Ott is right there on the doorstep and just lets her rip. Shattenkirk takes it on the forehand. I thought it went off the far pot. Pad out, juicy rebound, traffic in front, nowhere to go for the goalie. Gotch in front of the net. 3-2 Blues lead.
His second goal is a Blue, and the Blues with 2 goals in 26 seconds. During the break, Ott had his number retired by the Windsor Spitfires. His junior club, number 14. That was quite an honor, and an honor tonight to give the Blues a 3-2 lead.
And Ryan Reeves has picked up some energy. He just hit Mike Fisher with a good hit in the Nashville zone, and then he got him again just at the blue line.
2 goals in 26 seconds. Ott gets that one from Shattenkirk and Berglund. And just like that, the Blues lead 3-2. As Josi fires it in, and then is hit by Reeves, and we get a whistle.
This fourth line got ice time early on with Marcel Gotch added to the Blues, joined the team today, and they're looking for more tenacity, more ferocious forecheck from Ott and from Ryan Reeves. They know that Marcel Gotch is an extremely smart hockey player. He's a containment guy. He plays on the defensive side of the puck. He knows his position without exerting a whole lot of energy. So they know that the safety valve is there, and that's what they wanted for that fourth line.
And now a too-many-men minor against the Predators.
Well, you can see that on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 as the player hops off the ice and touches the puck.
Well, Panger Doug Armstrong said it's up to you guys to get some goals when he left the booth, and you've done your job, Darren.
Well, I'm the junior advisor to Doug Armstrong now.
Right.
Now that Marty's the senior.
Yeah, another goalie that has a few more wins than you and a few more than a lot of people. Now Laterra at the line. So the Blues back in the power play. They're 0 for 4 with 7 shots. At one time, the Predators led 2-0. Now Steen to center ice. He wires it in. Hutton plays it. That is knocked out of midair by Oshie, but right to the Preds and ripped down the ice by Roman Josi. Schwartz, Oshie, and Ott the goal scorers here in the second. Steen to the line, and he can't get in. Jammed back down the ice by Seth Jones. And now picked up by Petrangelo. And slowly on to center ice for Oshie. Predators back in a bit. Oshie a pass, now for Bouwmeester. He winds up, tipped by Stastny to the corner. And then ripped high off the glass by Olli Jokinen all the way down the ice. And Elliott leaves it for Bouwmeester with 40 seconds left in the Blues power play. Hard pass to Stastny. Too hot to handle. Then cleared by Jones again. Now Elliott looking for a loose man to center. Finds Tarasenko. And at the line, just offside. That was a great pass by Brian Elliott. Well, BMO Harris Bank wants you to show your sign in support of the Blues. Tweet a picture of you and your sign to hashtag BMO Blues Sign Contest for a chance to win Blues prizes and have it shown in an upcoming broadcast. Visit bmoharris.com/Blues Sign Contest or visit a local branch near you for more details.
A nice play there by Brian Elliott, moving that puck up the ice, just barely offside. Otherwise, Tarasenko, with the little time that he needs to let one rip, would have had a good chance.
And now the Blues, Schwartz at center ice, his pass blocked. Fisher comes in. He'll drop it off, long shot, save, rebound, Fisher, and he ties the game with a short-handed goal. Mike Fisher.
What a brilliant maneuver, forehand, backhand. And the two former teammates with the Ottawa Senators, Fisher makes Elliott pay. Big juicy rebound just popped off the pads of Elliott from a distance. The Blues had control of the puck in the neutral zone. And right here, Schwartz tries to play it back, and it's picked off by Järnkrok, and he plays it up to Fisher. This long shot, there's the rebound that Elliott would be the first to tell you that he's got to control that long rebound. Instead, the rebound goes out, and boy, what a terrific move there by Mike Fisher, his second goal of the game.
The Predators have scored 2 shorthanded goals, and both against the Blues. Weber had one in Nashville, and now Fisher. Here's Audin for Gotch. So we're tied at 3. Predators are back at full strength. And then Berglund gets it on the cycle for Ott to Pietrangelo, the shot, and that's tipped wide. I think Berglund tipped it wide. And the puck lobbed to center ice. Broken up by Bouwmeester, walked along by Gotch. Now Gotch, a little backhander, tipped wide of the goal. And then Berglund comes in. He gets it. Berglund in front to Gotch. He's open, now circles the goal. Now Gotch a pass. That was blocked by Josi. Comes around to Berglund. Now Berglund looks around. The Blues making changes here. Ribeiro deals it back on the goal for Josi. Up to Smith, and he gets it out. And not far enough for icing here. Long pass. Here's Oshie in the clear. Slowed up by Volchenkov. And then Wilson back of the goal. Oh, stripped by Oshie in front. Steen can't get it. Kept in by Jackman, but not for long. And played to center ice.
That's persistent tenacity there by Oshie. Always tough when you're coming from behind to lift a stick or get your tip of your blade into the hands and get called for a minor penalty, but he did a great job of moving his feet and staying with it.
That last Predator goal, Fisher, from Josi and Järnkrok at 15:32. And that ties the game at 3. Bouncing puck kept in by Ekholm in front. And a good back check there by Laterra to break it up. And it goes in on goal. Hutton out of the goal. Lost it. Tarasenko wide open. Laterra. Oh, robbed there by Hutton. He got back and made a big-time save after a big-time error. What a game here in the second period.
Vladdy Tarasenko has been spectacular against the Nashville Predators in his career. 13 games played, he's got 14 points. Schwartz huts this one down. Tarasenko's got a chance to maybe rip that right away, but our Honda big save comes off the defensive play there by Volchenkov. The goaltender Hutton's there to take care of the loose chain. But Tarasenko, Schwartz, Laterra, they are magical together.
Well, Hutton gave it away, and he was the beneficiary of a big block there.
He did not expect Schwartz to come in with the speed that he did, and neither did the defenseman. There was a complete lack of communication between defenseman and goalie on that play.
And now the faceoff won by Gostad. And played ahead to Jokin. 3-on-3, drop past the Gostad, a shot. And a blocker save there by Elliott. And then Nystrom down low. Shattenkirk has his man wrapped up in knots in behind the goal. Now Gostad with it, a drive short side, and a save by Elliott. And a stoppage. We'll make your appointment now for the Blues and Fox Sports Midwest American Red Cross Blood Drive on Monday at locations across the St. Louis area. Everyone who attempts to donate will receive a limited edition t-shirt while supplies last. Make your appointment by calling 1-800-RED-CROSS or go to redcrossblood.org.
Again, you see Nashville in a sharp angle funnel that puck from the hash marks on the near side as you're looking at it and right to the goaltender. You got to be alert at all times. Even from sharp angles, they're putting that puck on net.
How about the Predators this year in the Central Division? 13-3-2 in the division. That's amazing against a stacked Central Division. Now Reeves at center ice. Strip the puck. In with Stastny. Reeves comes in. Fires. He scores!
Gets a chance, jumping up on the line with Stastny. Right there. And Yaskin. And he just lets this one rip. The guys on the bench tell him to fire it. He strips the puck from Jones and makes no mistake whatsoever. The defenseman's going down. It goes underneath him. And the goaltender's stick is too far to the left. And the stick blade looks like it kind of interferes with his pad. And his pad can't get all the way down.
That's his first goal in 26 games since he scored the winner in Winnipeg, his hometown, in late November. And Darren Wood and Ken Hitchcock tell you a few minutes ago, shoot the puck. Now Steen comes in.
That's offside.
And he can't get a shot.
Yeah.
But Reeves did just that. He unloaded from the circle. And he beats Hutton to give the Blues a 4-3 lead.
I like the fact that in a play like that, just let it rip. I mean, taking nothing away from Reeves, but if he tries to toe drag this and make a fancy play, there's a good chance it gets broken up. It's a straight-on shot. At worst case, there's going to be a rebound there, and you've got Stastny and Yaskin driving hard to the net.
Yaskin gets the lone assist on that goal. Reeves' fourth of the year at 18-15. As the Predators are called for icing.
Well, those late goals in a period are just so vital, and they can be such momentum flaters for the other team. Obviously on the road as well. Jones had a chance to just chip that off the boards and go wide, but give Ryan Reeves a lot of credit. He just kept moving and moving and moving, and with that long stick, that long reach, he was able to poke it away.
And he got everything in behind that shot, all 225 pounds. And now it's scooped up by Elliott with 70 seconds left in a frantic second period.
Well, a lot of times, the goaltenders now, they use their pads as basically their stick blade. In the old days, we had to make sure that your stick blade was right in front of you and along the ice. But now these goaltenders, with the way the pads are made and how loose they wear them on their legs, it's so easy to get the pads sealed along the ice. But it looked to me like his left pad got caught on top of the stick blade, and that left just that bare bit of an opening.
And this marks the third time this year the Blues have scored 4 goals in a period. And off the face-off, it is Berglund for Ott.
Might be icing. Not waved off.
Now Ott comes in.
Oh, Berglund might be hurt here.
Yeah, he
went into the boards really awkward and on his back, and he is not getting up.
2-on-1. Fisher. And a pass across to Wilson. Dropped off in a drive, and a save by Elliott. And Berglund can barely get to the Blues bench.
Oh, that was an awkward play, and he is in a great deal of pain. This does not look good.
Now Tarasenko for Shattenkirk. Fires it, and a save by Hutton on the short side. And Berglund goes to the Blues locker room. Now Jori Lehtera. And we get a whistle. Ott is involved in front. And now everybody jumps in.
I was watching Berglund. It's right at the Zamboni entrance. And I was watching the way he was trying to spin off the hit there on Ekblom there, and I think the Blues think that Ekblom did something wrong, but it really, in essence, I mean, Berglund was just spinning off him trying to finish his check right here. And the way that he landed,
You know, he went it back first, Darren.
but then he watched the way he I'm not going to speculate, but I think we've been around the game long enough to know that that hunched over look is not a good one.
Well, the Blues just scored 4. With the McD app, you can buy one, get one free Big Mac or Quarter Pounder with cheese at McDonald's. And now Ott gets a minor here. Well, so the Predators on a power play.
These are the ones that, you know, Ott doesn't want to take a penalty late. He wants to engage, certainly, in the defenseman Ekholm, because he thinks Ekholm's done something there to Berglund.
Nashville 1 for 2 on the evening.
But these are the ones that generally you kill off as a team, because you know what the motive was for it. He wasn't just going out his way to do something to take a minor penalty. He was going to make a point. And they've been making a point at Ekholm as much as possible in this game.
7 to go in the period. As Josi comes in a shot wide. And now Backes to the corner. And that will do it. A highly entertaining second period.
St. Louis Blues hockey is brought to you by Jack in the Box. The Chipotle Chicken Club Combo is back at Jack in the Box for a limited time. And by your local Gateway Toyota dealers. Take a test drive today or visit them online at buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. Let's go upstairs to John Kelly now with the third period. John?
All right, Pat, thank you very much. A wild second period. The Blues scoring 4 goals on 13 shots, and Darren Pang again between the benches. Was there one key to the Blues' explosion in that second period?
Well, you know, I thought they gained a lot of momentum prior to the Reeves goal. I mean, Ryan got in some pretty good licks, and anytime a guy like Ryan Reeves and then you got Steve Ott get in there on the forecheck, maybe it unsettled Nashville a little bit. Nashville plays a pretty high-pressure game, and you don't have a lot of time and space, but you got to like 4 goals in the second period to get right back into it. And I think for Ryan Reeves, as he got a little bit of a break in the Cancun area during it, there's the shot. You can see we zoom in on between the legs, and the stick's not in the middle of it, and it crawls right between. A perfectly placed shot by Reeves.
Blues hockey is sponsored by Bud Light, who reminds fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Predators on the power play. 1:25 left in Ott's minor. Hard pass behind Ribeiro. And that's an icing call against Nashville.
Yeah, Smith goes toppling down on the right side, and Ribeiro thought he beat the defenseman on the other side. You can see that Smith just lost a bit of an edge right there. Oh, gonna test it out right in front of me. Looks like that's gonna be okay. Boy, he's developed into a real good top 6 forward for the Nashville Predators. Now on the top line with Forsberg and Ribeiro. Remember, they started the season, James Neal saw a lot of the time up there with Ribeiro and Forsberg.
Smith, like Elliott, a former Wisconsin Badger. That's tossed in by Wilson. The Blues were leading after 2. 17-1 and 2. Backhander by Ribeiro, and a big save there by Elliott.
Boy, Nashville's made some really good plays that have started behind the net, behind the goal line. And that was another one there. Usually it's Ribeiro that makes that kind of pass, but here he's the recipient of it. Colin Wilson, he wins the battle. And with that battle, Ribeiro gets it on the backhand. Keep your eye on the position of the goaltender. Elliott goes down, then he gets back up. And then he gets himself in a position, just gets his left inside of his leg on that one.
What a save there. Now back of the line, Ekholm. Good job to hold it in. Now Wilson to Ribeiro, to Smith. Shattenkirk down low on Wilson. In the slot. And a good job to step up there by Stastny to break it up. And shot down the ice by Jackman. Now 40 seconds left in the Nashville power play. And Wilson steps in. Chased to the corner by Gotch. He gloves it down. Now the Predators try to center. Oshie there, and he picks it open and shoots it away.
Well, I like that read by Marcel Gotch in the defensive zone, knowing that Nashville Predator player challenging the defenseman. He came in underneath. He's on the defensive side of the puck in a good position.
Now it is Neal to center ice. for the rookie Forsberg. And then back of the goal, a good job by Pietrangelo to break it up. Predators get it back, though. Here's Forsberg. Knocked away from him. And Bouwmeester with time. And he bounces one down the ice. The Blues are back at full strength. Nashville had one shot. And Ott is back. The Predators are 2-8 when trailing after 2. And they trail here 4-3. Now the Swede Forsberg. He gets in. He goes down the wall on Bouwmeester. Forsberg to Neal. Tip back to Forsberg.
Good pressure there by Bouwmeester.
And now Fischer has it. Fischer hooks one back to the goal. Neal tied up by Pietrangelo. And a loose puck for Bouwmeester. And the Blues to center ice to Schwartz. He slams it in. And the goaltender Carter Hutton sets it up for Mattias Ekholm. Now Volchenkov comes in there. That drive wide on the short side. Here's Bourque to Järnkrok, a shot. That's tipped by a Blues player. Shattenkirk wide. And the Blues the other way with Backes. Trying to get to the front. And a great back check there by Bourque. Here come the Predators to center. Järnkrok at the line, broken up. Now Shattenkirk to Backes. And then Gunnarsson to center ice. And he chips that one over the boards at the Predator bench. Tonight on Fox Sports Live, they've got all the news from the world of sports, including highlights from a full day in the NBA and the NHL. Fox Sports Live is tonight on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. One thing Ken Hitchcock warned us about before the game, Darren, is these Predators, they play 4 lines and play them quite evenly, and they come at you for all 60 minutes.
Well, they're not afraid to get into a defensive matchup there with Gostad and Nystrom going up against any top line. That's a big key with Olli Jokinen, who's played over 1,200 NHL games. But the bottom line here, and Hitchcock said it before the game, respect both blue lines. Get it deep to get it back. No east-west stuff, especially with a 1-0 lead in the third period.
Now Gotch throws it back on the goal. Here is Roman Josi for Gostad. At the line, kept in by Gotch for a moment. And now Josi again. Trying to go right to the Blues defense. Almost does it. And then he's tripped up, and he draws a penalty here for hooking.
Almost like he sensed the fact that he was ahead of the play right there, and it didn't look like Stastny got much on Roman Josi. Josi ends up going down on his knees in power play with Nashville. Marcel Gotch ended up trying to get the puck in deep. It doesn't go in deep. They go for a line change, and there you see that neat little maneuver there, and it looked like the stick, the shaft of the stick, maybe right between the legs, sort of a little bit of a corkscrew.
And it's a hooking minor to Stastny. Nashville 1 for 3 tonight. Again, their power play ranked 24th in the NHL. But has been good tonight. Now Ribeiro drops it off to Jones. Ekholm, a shot in the glove. Save there by Elliott as he tried to go up high on the short side.
Well, the penalty killers for the Blues take away the far side on that shot. That allows Elliott to peek in on the short side, as you can clearly see. So it is labeled, but he sees it all the way. Smith's on the wrong side. Bouwmeester allows the short side shot. That's just good read altogether. They kind of lured Ekholm into that area.
And the face-off control by the Predators. Ekholm for Ribeiro. He's the playmaker. Coming off a 3-assist game to Smith. A shot. And a save by Elliott with a stick, and it goes out of play.
Well, you're right about Ribeiro. He's the guy in the half boards. He's the playmaker. A lot of times, though, he's so reluctant to shoot the puck that allows you defensively to get in position. And you can see that Marcel Gotch is on the far side. Now he's going to collapse down there because he knows the most dangerous player there is Smith. So he gets some help from Ott, and they're in a pretty good position right there.
And the Blues win a big face-off. Shattenkirk up the boards. Now Shattenkirk again. And on a second chance, he does clear it away. And Josi back in his own zone. 65 to go in Stastny's minor. And now Weber can't get anywhere. Forced back by Ott. And Josi gets by a forechecking Oshie. Roman Josi now for Fisher with 2 goals tonight. He'll drop it off. Weber has trouble there, but holds it in. Now Fisher back of the goal. And he looks around. Back to the hard shooting Weber. And then Fisher with a screen in front. Plays it back to Neal now for Weber. And around it goes to Josi. Here's Forsberg again. Josi to Weber. The drive. And Elliott got a piece of that one and it went wide.
Wow, got a lot on that. Maybe not 108.5 miles an hour like they did the All-Star game, but he got a lot of it.
And now Neal in front. Look out, Weber. And a shot. He put that one up high. Comes down in front and it must have hit the netting.
Yeah.
And we get a whistle.
It hit the glass and then it went up in the netting. Barrett Jackman recognized that right away. And here's the one-timer. Weber's going to fade away. Roman Josi makes a real nifty little toe drag move and then plays it to his backhand. And oh boy, Fisher's looking for the redirection in front. By that time as a goalie, you're just trying to get square to the puck, middle of the net, get as much on it as possible. Hard to catch those ones cleanly.
Sure sign of a good time. Here we go.
And Weber had the game winner against the Blues in late December, a short-handed goal.
Led by 2 defensemen. Short-handed 2-on-1 break. You don't see that very often.
Blues have killed it off. The Predators had 3 shots on that power play. Now Pietrangelo off the boards to Backus. And he'll tip it in.
Yeah, linesman waved that off immediately.
Blues are in Carolina tomorrow night. The start of a 2-game road trip. And then Super Bowl Sunday, a matinee in Washington.
We will be off that one.
That's on NBC. We'll enjoy the Super Bowl and the Blues game on Sunday, Darren. Wilson left it, Ekholm a shot, and hit the goalpost and then off Brian Elliott. And nearly back in the goal. We've already had 1 carom off Elliott's back tonight. And that was right off the goalpost. Here's Ekholm again.
Look out.
To Ribeiro. Backdoor. Still loose. And it's covered by Elliott. It was Scramble City there for Brian Elliott and the Blues.
So Carrie Underwood dreams of Oshie. She has Oshios in the morning. Of course, married to Mike Fisher, who's got 2 goals in this game. Here's the Ekholm shot. Off the short side post, off the back of Elliott, and now he's got to scramble. This was the first goal of the game that was deflected by Fisher, off the glass, off the back, and Els nearly got that one right there with his catching glove, but it ends up going in the net.
Shots 4-0 Predators in the 3rd. Blues off a face-off. And Schwartz down the wall. Drops a Tarasenko, a shot. And that was blocked and never got on goal. And now the Predators with it. Järnkrok spun around by Schwartz. Stastny is between Schwartz and Tarasenko here. And Bork's shot. And a bouncer. And it's caught by Elliott. And now again we have a skirmish. That shot dipped on Elliott.
He looked like Jacques Plante and Glenn Hall in the old days. That was really awkward. And there's only one explanation for that, that it had to glance off something, and Ian Cole was right there in the vicinity. So you see Bork's shot, you see it, yeah, glances right off the blade, and now it's fluttering in a way in which Brian Elliott didn't expect it, so it obviously dropped. He's expecting it to come up high. It drops down low, and now he's got to get his body down there and take it right in the midsection. Well, you go through any one of the highlights of Marty Brodeur, and you see every single kind of save known to mankind. Because he would do anything to keep that puck out of the net.
Now it's the birthday boy, Shattenkirk, and a blocker saved by Hutton. And the rebound is flipped ahead by Wilson. Not out, though, kept in by Steen. And then back of the goal to Bartley, pounds it around. Good read by Shattenkirk, a shot! And a save there by Carter Hutton. And then Gunnarsson. And Backus hold it in. Oshie back of the goal. Going to spin off. Jones in front. Backus. Now for Pietrangelo.
Oh, what a play.
What a move there. Toe drag around Wilson. And now getting some support from Steen. Tip back. Backus to Gunnarsson. Moves in, a shot. And that hit traffic on the way through.
Minor penalty coming up on Bartley.
Yeah, he knocked Oshie down. And a hooky minor.
Rob Martel makes that call just inside the blue line. But this is some tic-tac-toe passing. And there's the minor penalty by Bartley. But David Backus was in the middle of the ice. He makes a quick pass back to the point to Shattenkirk. Shattenkirk to Gunnarsson. I mean, how do you defend against the puck moving as fast as that? It's hard to. When you're stagnant, holding on to the puck even for a split second too long, it's easier to defend, obviously. The Blues have been zipping that puck around.
And the Blues 0 for 5 with 7 shots and a shorthanded goal against. Leading 4-3. It is Laterra on the face-off against Gostad. And the Blues control it. Shattenkirk now to Steen. Fakes it. Shattenkirk lets it go, and a save by Hutton.
Gostad is getting Laterra down low, kind of cross-checking them right kind of in the back of the legs as Laterra is going towards the net. And see these are the hard battles right here. And it looked like a face-off win there by Laterra, only to be won in the far side by Gostad. He gets knocked down by Laterra, and that's why Gostad goes right back at Laterra in front of the net.
And now he tries the bull rush. Laterra over.
Yeah.
And he's tossed.
What a battle between these two centermen.
And Gostad, their best face-off man, wins it. And Weber slides it down the ice. The Blues 4 goals in the second period. Leading 4-3 here. Moved in by Tarasenko. And went to shoot it, lost it. Oh. And then Weber can't clear it. Headed to right to Steen.
Good glove hand by Steen.
Now Laterra. Blues gets set up. Shattenkirk. Flips it on to Tarasenko. Here's Laterra. Pass in front. Off the leg of Weber. Is nearly in.
Yeah, waiting for Steen to come in on the weak side.
And the Blues right back in the zone. Steen. On Ekholm. He gets away to Laterra. In front on Hunter. Sprawling pass save. He was wide open. And now Fisher away for the Predators. Trying to get around a man, he does. And he can't get a real good shot away. And now Järnkrok.
Laterra's hurt behind the net.
Yeah, he went into the boards, and now he gets up in some discomfort.
That's
and he goes to the bench.
One heck of a shift by Laterra. Boy, that guy pays a price every time he's on the ice, doesn't he?
Now the Blues, Oshie right back in the zone. Trying to go up the gut. Here's Pietrangelo with 20 to go in the power play. And a big hit down low. Stastny. Then Ekholm battle. Then Cullen gets it away for the Predators. And now walked along by Jokinen. And his shot, and a glove save by Elliott, drops it. And he did not want to freeze it, but he had to.
Jori Laterra. The Blues are already without Patrick Berglund, injured late in the second period. But you see Laterra can't stop himself there because he's sort of on top of Fisher, can't put the brakes on, so he goes into the boards very, very awkwardly. Upper body and the side of his head took the brunt of that.
And he marches to the Blues locker room. Off a face-off, Steen now to Backus. He goes wide, and a shot and a save by Hutton. And we get a break. Past the midway point of the third, and the Blues leading by 1.
It's a pretty good sign right here in Scottrade. Our pucks aren't deflated. And on the Jumbotron earlier, Kelly Chase hosted a neat little commercial with Tarasenko and Hull. And he pumped up the pucks that were there. And they finally fired them hard enough to be in the net. It was pretty good stuff.
You got to have fun, Panger.
Yeah. I don't think it mattered what kind of pucks Tarasenko and Hull used, that's for sure.
9:35 left, third period. Blues leading 4-3. Blues are in Carolina tomorrow night against the rested Hurricanes. Now off the boards. Gotch there. It is Gotch, Reeves, and Ott here for the Blues. As Wilson comes in. Spins on Shattenkirk.
Good defensive play there by Shattenkirk. Really good play.
And a shot by Neal. And that hit a body in front and taken by Ott.
And he and Colin Wilson won a national championship together at BU.
Now it comes around to Pietrangelo. And then Stastny for Pietrangelo. Bounces toward the goal. That was broken up by the Predators. Ribeiro. Now for Volchenkov. And then for Smith. And hoisted high to center ice. At one time, the Predators led 2-0. They have not relinquished the 2-goal lead and lost this year. But they're losing here by 1. Now Ribeiro for Bartley. And a good forecheck here by the Blues. Now the Predators to center. And Forsberg comes in, a shot and a save by Elliott. And no rebound. Well, the stretch run begins now, and stretch run packs are going fast. Purchase 7-game packs or full stretch packs. Every home game right to the end, starting at just $26 per game. Blues ticket reps are taking your orders right now at 314-622-BLUE.
Holy jumping, $26.
That is a great price. Or you can also order online at stlouisblues.com/stretchrun. Now the puck in front. Steen comes over and swats it ahead to Backes. He finds Oshie. He winds up and fires it high. Hit the glass and all the way to center ice. Blues goals tonight from Schwartz, Oshie, Ott, and Reeves.
Pietrangelo stick just snapped in half right there.
Oh. And he goes off. And now the Predators winding up in their own zone with Weber. And the All-Star fires it in. Tipped by Cole up in the air. And tapped along by Yashkin and then thrown to center ice by Gotch.
Under that 7.5 minutes to go. Fourth line on the ice.
And now the Blues back in their own zone with Cole. Risky pass in front of the goal. Now Jackman to center, 3-on-2. Led by Gotch. He waits and rips a shot wide on the short side.
Yeah, Jackman doesn't want to take a chance. That puck is bobbling right there, and if he tries to keep it in and is flat-footed, Yarncroke's behind him. Smart play there by Jackman.
And now Shattenkirk. He has 8 shots in the game tonight.
Yeah, it's different if you're trailing in the game, you're playing the clock, you've got to take a chance, but not when you're leading by 1.
And now the Predators to center ice. Schwartz on the back check breaks it up. And Shattenkirk on his toes off Schwartz. And that goes in deep.
Birthday boy's hopping, isn't he?
Yes, he is. And the puck up the middle, cut off by the birthday boy. Schwartz pounds it back of the goal. With no Berglund and Laterra, the Blues are down to 10 forwards here. And a shot by Gostad blocked. Here is Nystrom to the line. And a shot doesn't get through. Nystrom gets it again. Up high. Save. Elliott tipped it out of midair with a stick on the rebound. And cleared by the Blues to center.
Yeah, good play by Tarasenko, knowing that lefty vacated the area, just chunked it out of the zone.
And then lobbed in by Ekholm. And it's Shattenkirk, a pass blocked. And on a second chance, again he can't clear it. In front to Neal, a shot. That was tipped by a Blue stick high. Maybe off Gunnarsson.
Important part of the game right now for the Blues. Stay mentally disciplined and get that puck out of the zone.
And now Weber with it, a shot. And that's just wide with Neal in Elliott's kitchen.
And now Nashville's able to get full line change here, so they got fresh bodies on the ice.
And then Wilson, a shot. Backdoor feed. That goes wide. And then Weber holds it in. Shattenkirk with some time. And again, it's at the line.
Oh.
Finally cleared away by Tarasenko.
I don't know why Fisher took that out of the zone.
Now Fisher comes in, a shot. That's wide. And off the glass, and that's a break for the Blues. Elliott with a big save. His dad, Bill, is in attendance, and he's got to love that save by his son. Well, Luke Thompson analyzes why Marcel Gotch will be a better fit than Max Lapierre on the Blues' fourth line. Find it on FoxSportsMidwest.com. And there's Luke in the press box here at Scott Trade, where the Blues lead 4-3.
Good kid, doesn't say much, listens a lot, takes a lot of notes, huh, John Kelly?
I agree. Does a great job.
And through 40 minutes of play, the Gotch line generated 3 even-strength scoring chances.
Now Steen a pass. Picked off by the Predators. Here they come. Forsberg.
Whoa.
Twisting and trying to go around Pietrangelo. And now back is Oshie. His pass hits Steen. Weber holds it in. Here's Ribeiro.
Got it.
Back to Weber. A shot tipped on goal. And a save by Elliott. And it goes just wide of that far post.
Wow, that puck's been squirming in a funny manner in the crease, hasn't it?
And then Ribeiro will throw one down low. The Blues tonight, 12 defensive zone turnovers. So a bit sloppy in the first game back for the break. And that's an offside.
Well, you're right. It's getting hairy because the Nashville Predators have done a good job of keeping pucks in the zone. And that one off the right pad and then underneath them. That's what I mean by that. Nothing's been real clean. That's one of those games where you just have to battle through it all. Elliott, as we know, has made a name for himself in the NHL as a battler. Whether it's going from Cancun on the beach to Columbus to the All-Star game. Knows where he came from. 9th round draft pick. Always fighting for his time. Did so at Tier 2. Never drafted Major Junior A. Went to Wisconsin ended up on a full ride. Kind of a late bloomer. Won a national championship. Fought his way in the NHL. Pretty good story, isn't it?
It really is. And he is as hard a worker as there is on this hockey team. Turnover here in front. Ryan Reeves knees into himself. And then a shot blocked.
All that soccer work before the games is paying off.
Right now, Reeves would have the winning goal if the score holds. On the cycle, Steve Ott. And now Järnkrok, the rookie, back in his own zone. Chips it ahead to Jones. And Jones comes in. Tough angle and a good back check there by Reeves.
Boy, Reeves has had a heck of a game.
And now Gotch helping out Jackman there. With 3:40 left here. Cullen gets it back, and a long shot blocked away by Elliott. Ekholm comes in. He's been active tonight. He circles the wagons. Now back to Jones. To Fisher, in on goal, a pass, and maybe one too many, and the Blues break it up.
Yeah, Fisher came off on a line change. Järnkrok went off, and no one saw Fisher coming down that right side.
And then driven back in by Ekholm. Here's Gunnarsson in the corner. Now it comes to Weber, a shot, and that's stopped by Elliott. And then Shattenkirk off the boards. Tarasenko stripped there by Neal. And Neal puts it off the back of the goal. And then Neal trying to get away from his man. Ekholm to the line for Weber. And then Fisher way out high. Thrown back of the goal. Wilson gets it. In front, off a skate and wide of the goal. Predators buzzing again. A shot. They score! James Neal! And it's 4-4.
Well, Nashville smelling blood there. And the Blues without Berglund, without Laterra. Shifts get a little longer, running out of gas. And it looked like, didn't it look like for the last minute and a half there was 6 players on the ice for Nashville? Doesn't take long for James Neal, number 18. Not much room there whatsoever. What a pass by Mike Fisher. He has been a terrific player in this game. And this one goes by the stick of Stastny, through the legs of Shattenkirk.
Look out here off the faceoff. And Elliott makes a very good save on Craig Smith.
Boy, those are tough ones too, because you got to squeeze that elbow on the side of your body. More often than not, those squeak through. Face-off win by the Blues, but a smart play by Smith. And he makes something out of nothing right there. And it goes, you see, it hits the blocker, hits the side of the body, and he just squeezes it enough right there.
And now the face-off won by Gotch. And Pietrangelo long past the center ice for Steen. Hit hard by Weber. The goal by Neal from Fisher and Wilson ties the game at 4 at 17-22. And a shot by Josi up high. And that's off the glass and back to center ice. And then Ribeiro right back in there. That's blocked by Pietrangelo. Then he forces it back to center ice. Under 2 to play in regulation. Now Ekholm for Forsberg. And he is forced to the corner by Ryan Reeves. Good job. And now in the corner, it comes in front. Pietrangelo let her break it up. And Reeves turning with it. And drops it back to Shattenkirk. And he just skates it away from pressure. Shattenkirk has tied a career high with 8 shots tonight. And that goes wide. And now after it himself, along with Ott. And Ott away from Gostad. And Ott was knocked off the puck, and the Predators play one to center ice. And the Blues tag up, so play continues here. With 70 seconds left in the third. The Preds have fought back to tie it at 4. Here comes Weber with a minute to go. And that pass off the mark. And then Weber again now for Jokinen. Knocked down by Bouwmeester. Here are the Blues with Tarasenko. He comes in and a shot. And that goes high and wide. And all the way to center ice. And Hutton blocks it back of the goal now for Roman Josi. On to Fisher, chips it in, and he chases against Bouwmeester. And then Backes back to help out for Steen up in the air. And a bouncer stays in the zone. But then Oshie on his knees gets it to center ice.
Yeah, good second effort there. I've been really impressed with Nashville's patience staying inside the line. I mean, they just will not back off that line, will they? Keep a lot of pucks in.
And we will go to overtime in St. Louis as the Predators tie the game at 17-22.
Well,
overtime is next from Scott Trade. Overtime is brought to you by JimButlerChevrolet.com, St. Louis's top-selling Chevy dealer, because they do the deals the other guys just won't. Jim Butler is the Chevy powerhouse. Well, Neal tied the game at 17-22. The Predators outshot the Blues 15-6 in the third period. Don't forget, Missouri Lottery Blues Live comes your way next here on Fox Sports Midwest.
Ryan Reeves has had a terrific game manning that right wing. Our Plaza Tire Service shot comparison. Go to 2 fine defensemen. Look at the attempts. Kevin Shattenkirk, as you mentioned, a career-high 8 shots on goal and just missed the net for a 9th. He and Roman Josi having some terrific game out here tonight.
And we go 4-on-4. Sudden death overtime for 5 minutes. Bouwmeester now for Steen. Kept in by Weber. And now Ribeiro twisting and turning. To Josi, a shot. And that's blocked by Bouwmeester. And then Bouwmeester against Weber. Former teammates on the Canadian Olympic team. And then Ribeiro gets it. In the slot, a shot. Right pad save, rebound to Smith. And that was stopped by Elliott. Smith had the overtime winner the other night in their victory against Colorado. And now Steen back for the Blues. Fights off the forecheck from Smith. Knocked him down. Here comes Steen. And late on his shift in front to Backes. And off his leg and wide. And now back of the goal to Steen again. Here's Backes to Steen. Everybody is covered. He rags the puck out high. And then to Backes to Shattenkirk. In front. And that's blocked by Weber, not cleared. Backus. And that shot was blocked by Ribeiro, and it goes out of play.
Yeah, Backus, Steen certainly out of gas there. A long shift, a shortened bench as well with 2 injuries. And that one goes off Ribeiro and out of play. That's got to be inside, and it is.
Yeah.
And here's the play before. Right pad saved by Elliott. Left pad saved by Elliott. And Smith right on the doorstep. Couple of glorious chances for Nashville.
The Blues 7-4 in overtime. The Predators 9-5. And the face-off won by Fisher.
Last 16 games, the Predators, that's pretty impressive. 12-1-3 record, scoring 61 goals and only allowing 45.
Now Gunnarsson leaves in for Shattenkirk. And he picks his way to the line. Now to Schwartz. And a quick shot. And a save. And the rebound was juggled a bit by Hutton. But then he covers.
Give Carter Hutton a lot of credit for finding that through traffic. These are quick little plays. Nicely done by Shattenkirk through the neutral zone. And Schwartz is just so quick with his stutter step. And he uses the defenseman Ekholm as a screen. Tarasenko is coming in from the right, swooping in there looking for a rebound or a return pass.
And the face-off controlled by the Predators. Handed on to Jones. And he gets to the Blues line. Knocked away by Stastny. Off the boards now for Oshie with Stastny. Here they come. Stastny wide open. And he shot wide of an open goal.
Puck might have rolled at the last second on him.
What a chance. And Yardenkrog comes in. And a drop pass. And a good back check there by Oshie.
He's had a good hockey game. That was a brilliant pass by Oshie.
And Stastny has a game winner on his stick. Tipped in by Pietrangelo. But Ekholm the other way. Now into Forsberg. And a shot. And a save by Elliott. And he juggles that a bit, but has it.
Yeah, good save and good positioning by Brian Elliott. The pass by Oshie right on the tape. From my angle, I thought the puck rolled there. Yes, the puck rolled. And it does glance off the elbow right at the yellow stripe. The right elbow there. I thought at first that because that puck rolled, it kind of cupped on the end of his blade, that it went high. But it did look like it glanced off the elbow.
And off the face-off, the Predators back of the goal. It's reversed and now picked up by Gunnarsson. For Steen. Up the middle. In with Backus. And now the Blues captain back of the goal. Left it there for Steen. And then Wilson run down by Steen to Backus. Shattenkirk down to Gunnarsson. And Gunnarsson was checked on the boards. But the Predators overskated.
Yeah, Weber overskated. The puck kind of stuck there on the boards.
And now Steen to Gunnarsson. A shot and a pad saved by Hutton. And then Backus, what a hit in the corner. Stolen from Forsberg. But now the rookie comes back and makes a good play. And now on to Weber. He drops it to Josi. Fakes it, lets it go. And blocked by Tarasenko. Blues have numbers the other way at 3-on-1. Shattenkirk. Oh, and Schwartz backdoor. And he couldn't tap it home on a 3-on-1. What a chance there. Now Tarasenko again. And he lets it fly. Oh. Blocked at the defense.
Goes off the right ankle, right foot there of Shea Weber.
Tarasenko again. He delays. And a shot. Blocked by Weber.
Again. Look at Weber's hobbling. He's got to be in some pain. Those two had to have stung him a little bit.
1 minute to play in overtime.
And a minute to go in overtime. And a pass too far for Stastny. Here's Jones dropping it off. Moved in by Ekholm. In front to Neal. And he cut through the goal crease. Couldn't get a shot. And then back of the line. Oshie, a good check there on Seth Jones. And he breaks it up. And Ekholm wins that race with 30 seconds left in overtime. Now the Predators drop it off. Up the middle to Fisher. And he gets in. Fisher with it, a shot, and a save by Elliott, and no rebound. And then Oshie and Neal have words.
You can see the speed that Nashville's getting through the neutral zone. The Blues need to do a better job from their forwards of getting back and putting backside pressure, because the Blues are backing in and backing in. In the meantime, speaking of backing in, the Blues have a 4-on-1, and Shattenkirk tries to snap this one hard, and it was hard for Schwartz to pick it up. Looked like it went off the heel of his stick, maybe his left skate, and there's no clear shot on goal. A 4-on-1 and not a shot on goal. A great opportunity relinquished.
And 20 seconds left. Backus against Ribeiro. Ribeiro wins it. And now he gets it. Long shot tipped wide of the goal by Smith. And now Steen back to the Blues goal. Oh, nice stick handling there. Here they come. Time runs down. Steen into the zone. Now lets it go, and he missed the goal. And it's out of play with 2 seconds left.
Oh. Left-hand shot going down the right side. Steen tries to bring that into his skates, maybe change the angle a little bit. And you can see he's got Backus as the center lane drive, trying to cause a little interference on Josi. And Steen just misses to the stick side. Just missed.
And the Blues, I believe, will call a timeout here. And they might pull goaltender Brian Elliott.
Yeah, the bench is knocking on the boards, trying to get his attention. 2 seconds remaining. There is enough time. Backus has got Tarasenko. Tarasenko's on the right. This is the right here. That would be your play. One quick maneuver, and that's the time you're going to get.
And the face-off. Oh. And the Blues can't get a shot as Backus got it. And we will go to a shootout.
And with the score still tied after 65 minutes of play,
the shootout
we now go to a shootout
is brought to you by Jim Butler Chevrolet.com. Jim Butler is the Chevy powerhouse.
There's our...
And the shootout numbers are presented by Jim Butler Chevrolet.com.
And we are here because James Neal made it 4-4 at 17:22, his 16th goal of the year. Second period saw 4 Blues goals to give them a 4-3 lead.
And the Blues will shoot first. It is Oshie. He had the game winner a couple weeks ago against Carolina.
I like high glove on this play.
It's Oshie against Hutton. And he scores, makes it look easy.
Like I said, I like between the legs on this play. Well, it looks like Oshie's got his mojo back in the shootouts.
And Matt Cullen will shoot for the Predators. 41% in his career. A valuable point up for grabs here in the shootout. It's Cullen against Elliott. And a right pad save by Elliott.
Really good patience shown by Brian Elliott there. Gets really low in his crouch, so it gives you the impression there's room up top, but then he's got his glove in a good spot. And you can see his one knee goes down, and then his other knee goes down. He goes boom, boom, and then he gets it with the right pad. Blocker, too, down there.
And now Tarasenko. 2 shootout goals this year. Quickly in on Hutton. Here he comes. And a shot and a save, and it bounces up in the air and it stays out.
You end up cutting down that angle there a little bit by going so far wide as he brings it back into the middle of the ice where he's comfortable here. He's looking at either high glove between the legs, where there was nothing there whatsoever. Give Carter Hutton a lot of credit for staying with him there.
And it's Craig Smith, 1 for 5 on the year. Their second shooter. Here's Smith. And a glove save by Elliott.
Wow. Again, Elliott didn't bite whatsoever. That is tremendous patience. As a goalie, you want to wait for the forward to make the first move. And as a forward, you want to see the goaltender make the first move. Elliott doesn't nibble on anything there. Great save.
And now Steen could win it with a goal. And he's 1 for 6. If Steen scores, the Blues win. Here he comes. Steen. Backhander and a save by Hutton.
Oh, how did he get that? That's a slick move right there. I mean, he went as far as you could go on that forehand, dragged it to the backhand, and that is one athletic save by Carter Hutton there.
And now Brian Elliott, Bill's son, if he can make a save, the Blues would win. And Roman Josi will be the shooter for the Predators. Can Elliott make the save? Here comes Josi. Waits, and he ties the shootout with a great backhand goal.
Well, that's something else right there, isn't it? Goes down the left side. Watch the way he plants his skates. Kind of attended to. He's got sideways, sideways. That's a wonderful lateral movement there by Josi, and he slides it by on the backhander.
And Shattenkirk will shoot for the Blues. Here he comes, 4th round, in on goal, and he scores! A goal for Shattenkirk.
Looked like that puck jumped a little bit at the end when he made the move to the forehand, and he waits for as long as he can. Similar kind of play to Steen, except he's a right-hand shot, and there, oh boy, makes that look easy. What a great move.
And now Neal must score to extend the shootout. He's 1 for 3 this year.
Oh, he's a shooter.
He tied the game in the 3rd. It's James Neal, quickly up the middle. And a save by Elliott! And the Elliots celebrate! For the Blues, their 30th win of the year.
Well, Elliott got stronger as this game went on, and he made some outstanding saves. This one here, Neal actually overskates it, but there's Bill Elliott. That's a jubilation. That's some great stuff right there as the father trip begins tonight. In the meantime, our Bud Light player of the game, why wouldn't we give it to big number 75? Did a lot of work, got in there on the forecheck, scored the goal to make it 4-3. Let's go to Tom Calhoun with the 3 stars.
Stars of tonight's game. The game's 3rd star, scoring 2 goals and adding an assist and playing it a forward for Nashville, number 12, Mike Fisher. The game's 2nd star, scoring 1 goal and playing it a forward for the Blues, number 75, Ryan Reed. And the 1st star with 1 goal, playing it a forward for the Blues, number 74, TJ Oshie.
Well, TJ, you go from an all-star break, 10 days off, right to the fire here. You guys really got things going in the 2nd period. What were the adjustments you made?
We just wanted to sharpen up on getting pucks deep. They're doing a great job of just throwing pucks in the net. They got a lucky one there on that first one, and we turned it around. Got some pucks to the net, and they went in for us.
I thought you were going to say you had your Oshios today.
I did.
I'm sure you did.
They're delicious.
They are delicious. How about those Oshios? On a night where you saw Martin Brodeur drop the puck, you've been around him for a little bit of time here, and you've seen the influence of a guy like Marty. What does he mean to you guys as players to know that he's just gone from playing the game to now joining this team in another capacity?
He can only be good for our organization. He knows what it takes to win. He's won a bunch of them. Actually, today I watched his shutout in Game 7, and got some tickles in my stomach a little bit. But no, he's a great guy. He did a great job at maturing us while he was here and keeping us calm, and we're glad he stayed with us.
We've really enjoyed the games against Nashville, TJ. What do you see as the biggest difference between the way they've played in the past and the way they're playing right now under Peter Laviolette?
It seems like they play a lot like us. They throw the puck to the net a lot. They got all 4 lines that are working hard. Their D are very good at taking checks and moving the puck, and their goaltending is outstanding. So very similar teams. It's a battle, and one that we like to get up for.
TJ, thanks. Great goal. Remind me a little bit of Sochi on Bobrovsky.
Thanks, Pegger.
There's TJ Oshie. Pat and Bernie.
All right, Darren Pank, thank you very much. TJ Oshie, the cheers and the high fives as he heads into the Blues dressing room, and the Blues win it 5-4. The shootout final against the Nashville Predators.